Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, we are going to learn how we can deploy a fast API basic application on AKS, Azure Kubernetes Service, using Podman and kubectl. And we are going to do it right from a Windows system. If you want to build cloud native Python APIs with fast API and run them on Azure like a pro, you can stick around my channel. So, this document which I'm showing right now on my screen is something I have prepared for you guys, and these are the steps which we need to follow to deploy our basic Fast API application, which will be nothing but a basic Hello World application to deploy over AKS. As you can see, the first step is to install all your prerequisites we need to do this whole process, right? So just make sure that you have installed these tools in your Windows system. The first one is Azure CLI. We know that to make resources like AKS over Azure, so of course we need this. If you already have it, you guys are good to go to the next step. But if you haven't, you can install it using the command which I have given, or you can also follow the link given in the document. Right. Next tool is Podman. Podman is something we are using as an alternative of Docker, right? So it's easy to use, and if someone is not comfortable with Docker, so a better alternative is Podman. You can install it using the command given in the document, or you can also check out the link given. The third tool is kubectl to do any Kubernetes related tasks and to deploy your applications on clusters. We need kubectl as a tool installed in your system. Again, I have given the command and the link in the document. Next tool, of course, Fast API plus Unicon as a server we are going to use. And next is a Docker Hub account. So why do you need a Docker Hub account? You must have an account on Docker Hub because you are going to push your image, which you are going to build using Podman in your system. So you are going to push that image on a registry. So that registry will be the Docker Hub account. Next, you have WSL. This is completely option. You don't need it for Windows system, but it's recommended when you are doing your setup in a Linux or Ubuntu based environment, right? Okay. So coming to the next point, create a fast API application. So I just listing it like you guys already have a basic application built or a flow. So you must have at least a Hello World API route. I'm going to show you my um, my main.py file, which I have built. So let's just go to that. So this is my basic main.py file. I have created a basic route here, which is giving the message hello from X, right? Nothing else we are going to do here. In the requirements.txt file, I need fast API and Givicom. And then I have created a Docker file. So as you guys can see on step number 3 that we need to create a Docker file. So I have already created a Docker file in the same file in which I have created my meme.py and requirement.txt. In the same way that we need to do these commands: copy command, working directory command, run command, and then cmd command. So whatever your file name and then also mention the port on which you want to run this same port we are going to use in our Docker use also. Next, we have step number 4. We have to build and push the Docker image using Podman. So we can run these commands which I have written. So you just first need to start your machine, the Podman machine which you have set up using Podman desktop. If you haven't set up your Podman desktop, which is an initial step, so please do that. And our first command will be to start the machine. And let's just write that command in our Okay, so here is my command prompt. Let's write our first command. So, for first, your first command should be you need to check that your Podman machine is running or not. So, write Podman machine start. My machine is already running, so that's why I'm getting this. But you should write this command and get your machine started first. Your second command should be Podman login docker.io, which I have mentioned in my document. So just copy and paste this. Ask for your username. So write your username and password here. I'm giving my credentials. It says login succeed. Right now, our next command is, let's see in our document. Okay, so now next we have to build our image and we have to push to the Docker Hub. So let's just do that. The command is Podman build. This is the tag. As I said, I have already built my Fast API basic app, right? The code which I have shown you in my VS Code. We have to go to that directory and open our CMD over there. So let me just open my CMD in that directory itself so that we can access our Docker file for the image. So here I have opened that particular desktop or the folder. Now let's write that command and change my username. You must take your Docker Hub username. I have already written in the prerequisites that you must have a Docker Hub account. Now it's trying to pull the image from Python 3.10 Slim as we have mentioned in our Docker file. It might take some time. You guys can have your coffee till then. So we have successfully built our image. Now we are going to push this image to Docker Hub, right? So we are going to write the command for that. Here I have already written in this step number 4 to push the image to the Docker Hub. So instead of build, you just need to write the push. So let's just do that. Again in my CMD, writing my command. And I just need to write push. Invalid image name dot. Okay, you also need to remove the dot. So it has been pushed successfully. Now let's move towards the next step. And now our next step, that is step number 5, is to create our AKS cluster. So for that, you need to log into your CLI. Using this command AZ login, you can log into your Azure portal. So let's just try that. Let me open my CMD again. Here, you write the command AZ login. Now it will ask you username, password, everything. So if you already have your account login, there is no issue. But if not, then you must have to select the account, right? So I'm selecting my account. It is getting subscriptions and payment related to my Azure account for me. And this is my default. So I will just click on right. So I have been logged into this successfully. Our next step, which is mentioned in the document, is to create the resource group. Now you can write this command or you can also create your resource group using Azure portal. And if you already have created a resource group, you don't need to create a new. You just skip this step and write this command. I have already a resource group created. So I am going to create my APS cluster or that particular resource group. So let's just copy this command and write it in the CMD. This is my command, and I just need to replace here uh some values so I can like rename. You can just change your cluster name. So I am giving it let's say parts API AKS. That's my cluster name, and my resource group name is new RG or RG. And let's just hit on enter. We are waiting here to register our resource on Azure and to create our cluster on AKS successfully. It will take few minutes. You guys can enjoy your coffee till then. So here it says that my subscription is not registered for this particular thing, operational insights. So let's just close insights for now. We just don't need it as such. So if I remove enable add-ons monitoring and click on enter, whoa, okay, my node VM size will be changed to this, but it's not allowing me to do so because standard PS2 V3 is not allowed. Um, in this case, I'm going to use standard D2S version 6. So let's just change my command. That's what do we say? Nodes. What was that? Let's just tell my command the VM size of load. Load VM size. So yes. My free subscription. So I have some limitations regarding to results, regarding to monitoring, regarding to number of CPUs I can use. So accordingly, I have to use the size of PBN, and I have selected the D2S version 6, that is standard one, which uses 2 to 4 CPUs, I guess. So it's getting running now. And it takes time. So we need to wait for it to create successfully. So it's successfully done now, and we are getting these credentials, or you can say metadata, that it's being created successfully. You can see the version of the image. You can also see the other metadata. So once it's done, our next step, let's just realize, our next step is to get the credentials of the AKS. And right after that, I'm talking about the step number 6 here. We need to connect to the AKS cluster. For that, we are needing the credentials of the AKS, and using WSL or CMD, you guys can, use those credentials. So let's say I'm going to just use this command for now. Copy this and paste it in our command. Change the cluster name. I think I have given my cluster name as Fast API AKS, and my RG name is new RG. Click on enter. We have successfully merged our cluster, and our current context is saved in this particular direction, right? Now, next step is to create Kubernetes manifest, right? Look at this step number 7. You need to create a YAML file in which you are going to describe your deployment service and service, right? These two things you need to mention in your file. Let's just go. I'll copy this directly and paste it in the file. No issues with that. And we are going to name it as fast API deployment.yaml. Fast API deployment.yaml. Paste it here. Yep. Okay. I hope it's visible and clear to you guys then. Coming to the next point. Now, after creating this file, step number 8, deployment to AKS. Apply this manifest file using kubectl, check your pods running, and check the pod service and show your IP address. So the next command should be kubectl apply this. So go to the CMD. So I have just pasted this command here, and you guys can see deployment.apps is and service is created successfully, right? Now, what's the next step? Come to the next step after applying, that is kubectl get pods. Copy this command and paste it in the CMD. You can see here how many pods and what's the status. Should say invalid image name. To check the image name, let's just go to our YAML file and we have school just change your username here in this image. Go to the CMD and do the apply again. It's configured and now we can say kubectl get pods. So it says it has been terminated and this new image is running. So the status is running. Once your status is running, you can check the service. And for that, we are going to do our last command, which is nothing but kubectl get service. Just copy this, paste in CMD, surface external IP is pending. So you need to wait for it. It needs to change the status and give us a IP or external IP, which we can use and share with someone else so that they can see our application. So if I take you to my Word file, this was our last step. We can access the external API and we can store our fast API, Swagger or Hello World application there. So this was my last step. Let's just wait for external API to up. I'm getting it again. It's still in the pending stage. It needs some time. So let's just wait. Let's try again. It's still pending. So it was not running because it was giving me the error that I have already created 3 public IP addresses for my subscription. So I had to go and delete 1 or 2 and spam so that I can create this. So if I check my status now, it has been assigned external IP. So you just need to copy, open it in a browser, paste it in a browser and check if it is completely visible to you guys. So here you guys can see that on my address, on my external IP address, I'm getting the message hello from AKS and this is a party player which can also check it by say dot. This is of course not secure right now. We have many more things to do after this like TLS and server token. So it's like we are done here and that's it for today's video. You have just deployed a Fastly app to AKS using Podman and kubectl all from within WSL or Windows system, right? We have just used the CMD, Podman desktop and more many things. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, hit subscribe and let me know in the comments what kind of cloud native apps you guys are working on. See you in the next one.